Yarnivores and Spiderettes, Fiber Spider back again with a continuation of the star lace stitch. And this is going to be a full repeat of the stitch, rows 2 through 9, because, well, I like to be thorough and I love spending time with you guys. So let's get started, shall we? Okay. So starting off the repeat with row 2. Now, this isn't just me showing you what we're going to do, but why we're going to do it, and how to read your work so that you can continue doing the stitch without the video or a pattern or what have you. So row 2, which is right here, we've got 5 double crochets. And so you see here we have our cluster of 3. Well, that's the same thing we had right down in the very, very beginning in row 1. So basically, if you look at your previous rows, you can figure out what to do next. So, going to start by chaining up 2 for our first double crochet. Turn the work there. And we need an additional 4 doubles for a total of 5. Now, skip this first one and then 4 more doubles. That's 1, 2, 3 goes into the single crochet, and then that 5th double crochet goes into the chain space, like so. Then, as you can see down here, we're creating the bottom tier of the star. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then double crochet into the 3rd double of this shell here. So right into there, double crochet, chain 3, and then double crochet into the chain 1 space, and 8 more double crochets for a total of 9. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 goes into that single, and the 9th goes into the chain space. There. Chain 3. And we're going to create the bottom tier of a new star. So into that 3rd double, double crochet, chain 3, and double crochet into the chain 1 space. And then 8 more doubles for a total of 9. So the second one goes into that single, then 5 more in that doubles, the doubles with that fan that we have there. So we already have 4, 5, 6, and 7. 8th goes into the single, and then the 9th goes into the chain space. There. Chain 3. And then double crochet into the 3rd double of the fan. So that's 1, 2, 3, double into there. Chain 3. And then next double is into the chain space in between the singles. There we go. And then 4 more doubles for a total of 5. It's 5s on the ends, 9s in the middle. So I've got 1, then 2 goes into that single. 3, 4, and don't forget the 5th one at the end, which is a bit of a tricky booger, but we can do this. There. And the 5th double. There you go. So that is row 2 for the repeat. Okay, so row 3 for the repeat. Again, we're going to look back down here, and we have our second tier. And the second tier starts with our single crochets right here and here. And this is actually a rather quick row to do. So, because we have singles, we need to chain up 1 and single crochet into the first 2 stitches. 1 and 2. Now for the second tier of the star, we need chain 5 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into the chain space, single, chain 1, and then single into the next chain space. Lock that into place. Chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so skipping the first 3 doubles into the 4th, single crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, and single crochet. And a neat way of sort of breaking this down is, so you have 3 groups of 3. We have our 3, and then the 3 in the middle, those are the ones that we're actually working with. It's all about the symmetry. So from here, going to mosey along by chaining 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, single crochet into the chain space, chain 1, single crochet into the next chain space, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, skipping the first 3, going into the second group of 3, so it's single crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, going into the next with a single. Okay, chain 5 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, into the chain space, single, chain 1, and then single into the next space. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skipping the first 3 doubles, and then into the last 2 stitches, single crochet, because that's how we started. Again, symmetry. Okay, and then one more at the very, very end. Again, yes, I know it is a fiddly little monster, but we shall overcome with patience and perseverance. There, got our 2 singles right at the end there. So that is row 3 for the repeat. Row 4. Okay, so row 4, we need to do the 3rd tier on the star, which is very similar to the first tier, but instead of working into existing stitches, we're working into the chain spaces. So start off by chaining up 2 for our first double crochet, and then skipping this first stitch, because this counts as a double, skip the first stitch, going into the next with a double. So we've got 2. And we need 3 more for the total of 5, right? So into the chain space, 3 more doubles for the total of 5. There we go. Okay, and then, because down here we did chaining of 3 and double in the middle, well, then we're going to do that again. So chain 3, and then double into the chain 1 space, chain 3, and into the chain space, 3 doubles, didn't quite grab that, I don't think. Hang on, bear with me. All right, I've got 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And then the next grouping of 3 will be in the single, chain 1 space, and the single, because we need a total of 9. Chain 1 space, and into the single, and then into the next chain 5 space, 3 more doubles. So we'll have a total of 9. There, 3, 3, and 3. All right, from here, chain 3, double into the chain 1 space, chain 3, into the next chain space, 3 doubles, and then double into the next 3 stitches. I'm sorry, my yarn's getting a little bit curmudgeon-y on me. Okay, so double into the next 3 stitches, which is the single, chain space, and single. There we go. And then 3 doubles into the following chain space. So we have a total of 9 once again. Okay, then chain 3 and double into the chain 1 space that we created. Scoot your work. Chain 3 and into the chain space, 3 doubles, and then a double into each of the next 2 stitches, those single crochet stitches, so that we have a total of 5. We started with 5, we need to finish with 5. So double into the single and double into the single. And there you go. So that is the end of row 4 for the repeat. Row 5. All right, now row 5 is very similar to row 1 as well as row 9, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, it is sort of like a finishing row of the existing stars. Also, it's the framework for creating a new basis of stars. It is involving those arches. So we need to start with half of an arch because we're at the end, just like we have right over here. So start off by chaining up 2 for a double, and then 2 more doubles into the same stitch so that we have a total of 3 doubles in that same first stitch. There we go. Then skipping 2 stitches into the third stitch, single crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, single crochet into the next stitch. Okay, then into the solitary double, we need an arch or a fan, a shell of 5 doubles right into that stitch there. So, whoop, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. Okay, then into the chain space, single crochet to lock it down, chain 1, skip a stitch, single into the next. Okay, skipping 2 stitches, and then we need another shell. So skip 2 stitches into that third one, 5 doubles, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. I knew I would get it. Now, if I could only get rid of this tangle here. Ay, ay, ay. Bear with me. I'll be right back. All right, continuing right along. Sorry about that. Okay, so I've got my 5 doubles. Then we need to skip 2 stitches, single into the third. Chain 1, skip a stitch, single into the chain space. Then into the solitary double, we need another shell of 5 doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, lock down the shell by doing a single into the chain space right there. Chain 1, skip a stitch, and single into the next stitch. Okay. Skip 2 stitches, double into the third 5 times for a new shell. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skip 2 stitches, single into the third, chain 1, skip a stitch, single into the chain space. Okay, one more fan to go, one more big fan anyway, into that double, 5 doubles, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lock down this shell with a single in the chain space. Chain 1, skip a stitch, single into the next stitch, and then into this very last one, skipping these 2, going into the last one with 3 doubles. So that is 1, 2, and 3. There we go. So we have another grouping of stars made, completed. Now we need to do the offset stars, these guys right here. So let's continue on with row 6. Okay, row 6, like I said, we're going to be doing our offset stars right here. And so we're starting with a large eyelet at the very, very beginning, which means that we need a double crochet and a chain 3 space. So I'm going to start with a chaining of 5. The 2 chains count as the double, the remaining 3 count as our chain 3 space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, as I've said before, some people, they like to do a chain 3 for their double. I like to do a chain 2, which I think, it creates a somewhat neater edge. That's my own personal opinion. Whichever you decide, just be consistent. So after chaining up 5, our first double is going to go into this chain 1 space right there. And then we need 8 more doubles for a total of 9. So we already have the 1, 2 goes in that single. The next 5 go in that shell. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then number 8 goes into the single, and the 9th goes into the chain space. There we go. Chain 3. Because again, we're doing the bottom tier of the star. So after chaining 3, find the third double of the fan and double crochet into that. Chain 3. Double crochet into the chain 1 space. And then we need 8 more doubles for a total of 9. So that's the first one. Number 2 goes into the single. The next 5 go into the shell. 1 in each. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 8 goes into the single. And the 9th goes into the chain space. Chain 3. And then double crochet into the third double of the fan. Scoot your work right along and pull out some more yarn as needs be. Okay, so I've got half of the bottom tier. I need the second half. So chain 3. And then double crochet into that chain 1 space. There we go. And then 8 more doubles for the total of 9. So 2 goes into that single. The next 5 go into the shell. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 goes into that single. And then the 9th goes into that chain space. And we are at the end. So chain 3. And double crochet into that very first or very last, depending upon your perspective, stitch at the end there. There we go. Da-da-da. And again, this is 3 chains, and this compensates for our 2 chains for our double. So it equates to a chaining of 5. And that is the end of row 6 for the repeat. Row 7. Okay, so row 7, going to look back down here. So we have, it is the middle section, the second tier of our stars. So we're starting off again with our single crochet stitches. And again, this row works really, really quickly. So start off row 7 with a chaining of 1, turn the work, and then single crochet into this first double, and a single crochet into the chain space. There. Then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, skipping the first 3 doubles, single into the fourth, chain 1, skip a stitch, single into the next, chain 5 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet into the chain space, chain 1, skip a stitch, that double, single into the next space, chain 5, 4 and 5, scoot your work, skipping the first 3 doubles into the fourth, single, chain 1, skip a stitch, single into the next, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, into the chain space, single, chain 1, skip that double, single into the next space. And my yarn is being curmudgeon-y. I don't know why. Perhaps the humidity, I don't know. There we go. I think I got it. Okay, sorry. Yes, I suffer from yarn issues as well. I am human. Okay, so chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the first 3 stitches into the fourth, single, chain 1, skip a stitch, single into the next, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, into the chain space, single, and into the last double crochet, or in our case, it is the second chain from the bottom. Do another single crochet, or you can always just do 2 single crochets into the chain space here. Either way is fine. This just sort of anchors it into place. At any rate, that is the end of row 7 and the second tier of the offset stars. All right, let's continue on. Row 8. Okay, so for row 8, we're going to be basically mimicking the first tier of this grouping of stars. So we need another large opening right down here, which when we did this, it was a chaining of 5. So we're going to do the same thing right now. So chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, that counts as a double crochet and a chain 3 space into this chain space right here. 3 doubles. And then into the next 3 stitches, a double in each. And that is, of course, the single, the chain 1, and the single, and then 3 doubles into the next chain space because we need that total of 9. There we go. Okay. Chain 3 and double into the chain 1 space in the middle. Chain 3. 3 doubles into the chain space. And then double into each of the next 3 stitches, the single, the chain space, and the single, and then 3 more doubles into the next chain space for the total of 9. There. We got 3, 3, and 3. Yes, okay, good. Okie doke. So, chain 3, double into the chain 1 space, chain 3, 3 doubles into the chain space, and then a double into the single, double into the chain space, double into the single, and then 3 doubles into the chain space, so you have your total of 9 once again. Okay, and we are at the tail end of the row. We are so close. Okay, so after we have our 9, I then need to do the large loop once again. So chain 3 and double crochet into the second single crochet stitch. So we have our chain 5 loop at the end once again. And there you go. That is the end of row 8 for the repeat. All right, so last but certainly not least, row 9 for the repeat. And because we just finished our grouping of stars, well, we need to sort of cap them off and get the next series of stars ready. So we need to do our clusters, right? So just like we did down here, we need to start off with a chaining of 2 for a double crochet, and then 2 more doubles into the same stitch for a total of 3 doubles. And that will get us started. Okay, then into the chain space, single crochet to lock it down, chain 1, skip a stitch, and single into the next. Okay, skip the next 2 stitches, 5 doubles in the third, so that we have a full shell, arch, cluster, whatever you wish to call it, whatever works, do it. All right, so I already have 3, need 2 more. There we go. Skip 2 stitches, single into the third, chain 1, thank you, and skip a stitch, single into the chain space. All right, then into the solitary double, another grouping of 5 doubles, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into the chain space, single to lock it down, chain 1, skip a stitch, single into the next. Okay. Skip 2 stitches, and then into the third, 5 doubles for a new arch. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skip 2 stitches, single into the third to lock it down. Chain 1, skip a stitch, single into the chain space, into the solitary double, 5 doubles for a new arch. Okay, that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Scoot your work. There we go. And then single crochet into the chain space to lock it down. Chain 1, skip a stitch, single into the next. Skip the next 2 stitches. In the third, 5 doubles for a new arch. It's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skip 2 stitches, single into the third, chain 1, skip a stitch, single into the next, and then, kind of tricky, but patience and perseverance pays off, into the second chain from the bottom, the beginning of our last double crochet, 3 double crochets. There we go. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Da, 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 da. There you go. So that is the end of row 9 for the full repeat. It's a thing of beauty. Alrighty, my dears, so that is going to conclude the full repeat for this tutorial. I really hope that I helped clarify the pattern and made it more understandable, because I realize, yes, it is an 8-row repeat. It can be easy to get lost and confused. I totally understand that, so I want it to be thorough. Now, as far as the rest of your project, all you have to do is repeat rows 2 through 9. However, that being said, I wouldn't necessarily suggest ending on a row 9. Now, the reason for that is because, well, we just finished row 9 right here, right? Well, we have an open bit of star there, but if you look down here, we started with an offset star right here. So what I would suggest is, if you're going for symmetry, I would suggest end after finishing row 5. Now, the reason why, I will show you. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that is after finishing one of these stars here. Now, again, continuing on, so this would be 6, 7, 8, 9, then 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that was the repeat. So I hope this makes sense, because if you want your star on the end and at the beginning to be in the same sort of configuration, you would want to end after finishing a row 5 instead of a row 9, but the full repeat is rows 2 through 9. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to be clear, not convoluted. All right, so that being said, I really hope that you liked this, and thank you so much for joining me today. And if you did like the video, please give a little thumbs up button down below and let me know what you think. What sort of yarn are you going to be using for this? What sort of project? A wrap, a shawl, a blanket, a coverlet, you name it, I'm interested. So, you know what to do until next time, right? I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, and please, stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now, everybody, and have a great day.